We got the Green Day records on display to show that it's a Green Day video. The worst song on every Green Day album. In the comments section, let me know the common thread of these songs so I can avoid it like the plague. And you guys can enjoy it if you like, because I know these are going to be kind of hot takes. Off of 39 Smooth, the debut. Unfortunately, I feel so bad about this, but the song called Green Day is the worst song off of 39 Smooth. It just doesn't represent what the band is about, and it just frustrates me to no end that that song shares a name with the band. Number 2, off of Kerplunk, the worst song is going to be 80, and it's not a bad song. It's just one of the few Green Day songs when I see the title, I don't instantly recognize it, and I have to go and listen to it and like, oh, it's that one. It's all right. Number 3 on Dookie. Dookie's weakest link goes to All By Myself, and again, I feel bad. I feel bad for all of these. I want Trey Cool to sing more. I want him to have a solo career. But All By Myself, it just doesn't stand up to the other songs on Dookie. Off of Insomniac, we have Brain Stew. And me and my whole family, we've always had a problem with this song. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. You know, maybe you could have used some of like the Jaded instrumental and changed things up a bit for this, because that dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Okay. Nimrod is up next, and some of you guys know the song Hashinka. And I joke around about Hashinka all the time. It's not that it's a bad song. It just doesn't feel like the record. And I know that Nimrod is a very wide and varied kind of sounding album, but Hashinka just stands out so much. And maybe because it's like an older Green Day song, it was kind of a leftover from the Dookie days, but it doesn't sound like Dookie Green Day either. I'm not sure what it is, but like the guitars, the guitar flavor is different on Hashinka, and I don't know what it is, but I just prefer that Green Day songs not sound like this. It's not bad. I don't get it. I know it's like a fan favorite, but wow, it's a very unusual. And it finally, once it gets going, I like it, but it's just a very unusual standout. It stands out in the Green Day catalog. Off of Warning, we got the title track, and again, I like it, but just every song on Warning is amazing, and I feel like the title track is just kind of missing something. It's maybe the reason that this album gets hated so much for being kind of boring, and there's just a lot of better songs that could have been a single. It's a really good song. But Warning is like, it's top 2 or 3 Green Day albums, and the title track's just kind of okay. Number 7 album by Green Day is The American Idiot and St. Jimmy. There's American Idiot is maybe the greatest album of all time, and St. Jimmy is great. It's a great song, but it's the only song that I've gotten tired of. Like, I hear it and I'm like, oh. I don't know if it's like the fact that they play it nonstop at every show. It's become kind of like, oh, we played that. We play deep cuts. And Green Day doesn't play deep cuts. They play this and King for a Day into infinity and beyond. And, X-Men comic books. I like St. Jimmy. It's a very important part of the American Idiot story, but it's just a song that record, I have to listen to the entire thing But this one, I kind of want to get past this and get to other songs that are really good. You know, before this one and after this one, whoa! 21st Century Breakdown is up next, and this one gets a good bit of criticism from Green Day fans. Nowadays, it seems like people kind of like to hate on 21st Century Breakdown. Not cool. Don't be hating on this. Don't be hating on Foam. You can hate on Revolution Radio, and you can hate on Kerplunk. You can hate on Dookie even, but don't be making fun of 21st Century Breakdown. You can make fun of any Green Day stuff you want. It's fine, but on 21st Century Breakdown, I feel like this song kind of has the. It's not Hashinka. It's kind of like Hashinka and St. Jimmy had a baby and named it East Jesus Nowhere. A Juno reference. Juno is a good movie, but East Jesus Nowhere, it's again kind of like Hashinka, and then it doesn't feel like Green Day. It's kind of fun to listen to, but it's just kind of weird. It's weird. It's just like Hashinka in that, like, in a weird album with 18 tracks, there's this one that just doesn't fit into the variety, and that's what East Jesus Nowhere and Hashinka are. Number 9, we're into the Trilogy now, and you guys like to hate on Trilogy stuff, so Carpe Diem is the weakest track on Uno. I loved it when I heard scrappy live performances of it, but when I heard it on the album, it was just a little bit too polished for me. Off of Dose, had a lot of contenders on Dose. You know, it's a very weird and wacky Green Day album, but I think Makeout Party is the worst song on the record. Trey had some had a couple that I could have put here on Trey. I will acknowledge I love the Trilogy, but I acknowledge that there are some issues popping up somewhat regularly on Dose and on Trey, and I think Little Boy Named Train is probably the weakest track. I used to kind of have an issue with Amanda, Don't You Know, but it's just great. Revolution Radio, Green Day, it's got to be bouncing off the singular wall when Billy Joe was clearly talking about multiple walls that he's bouncing off of. If you bounce off one wall, you just hit the ground and you don't continue bouncing. And there's some grammatical things with Revolution Radio. Some of the stuff in the lyric booklet is misprinted, and somebody, they shouldn't be fired, but let's move on to the next song. We got The Father of All ... and I love this record, but I feel like there's one song that kind of gives it a bad rap, and that is Stab You in the Heart. I like this song, even though it's the worst song from Father of All, because Father of All is great. But Stab You in the Heart, it just comes on, and I'm like, I want to hear something better, or different. I want to hear something. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear all the other amazing Foam songs, because Foam rules. And now we got the Saviors album, Savin' Us. Corvette Summer is the worst Saviors song.